allow the two children to attend the budget every year.
It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay.
She
Off your mind. Off your mind.
like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego diary politico, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. My yegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. My yegun don't come, oh, yo, yo.
Hello there.
Mayegun la wa mo la mo do.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Mayegun la wa mo.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun live.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Very well, thank you.
Mayegun number one.
Àṣírí.
Share this broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them Mayegun today.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
People will fight Abacha
Mayegun number one.
because of human rights abuses.
Politico,
Mayegun diary,
They are now in power.
Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ mọ́.
Abacha Pro Max or Pro Max. Fake progressives.
Gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Read the caption of the broadcast. Read the description as well. Share the broadcast at least before you sit back.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rà kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook,
Mayegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube,
Mayegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn.
Tinubu is going after those they considered as Nigeria enemies for talking about his criminal past, his criminal present, and his possible destructive future is coming back to fight now. They can no longer take it. Don't go on TV and criticize Tinubu. If you do, you will be committing a crime and at the same time putting the media house in trouble. And Arise Television have been given the last warning. So good morning to you once again, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. You are joining Mayegun live. I intend to make these broadcasts an open mic. So open mic means I can take calls anytime. But just to get us into it, it's ideal to give you this update. You see this issue of Kolu as a drug baron or drug dealer, heroin trafficker that forfeited $460,000 US to the government of America, the proceeds of heroin trafficking. Also, this Nigeria president, Kolu, has also been confirmed to have been an identity thief. This is a man that has 4 or 5 different dates of birth. This is a man that all of his came out or was parading a fake academic record. All is live. However, he got caught pants down when Atiku decided to unmask Kolu. And during the unmasking, it has also been confirmed that Kolu is also a certificate forger. The problem now is this: the whole world knows about it. And Kolu would want the rest of Nigeria never to discuss it. Remember, we were talking about them trying to deflect. You know what I mean? Like, instead of them to come out point blank and answer all the questions, that they would rather attack people that ask questions. Initially, they said they won't respond to frivolities. Then when they came back, they started attacking Atiku, attacked Obi, attack everybody that has been talking about it. The rest of the world knows the president of Nigeria is a drug dealer, a drug baron. There is a video of, there is one of these shots on Mayegun's Diary Politico. I made that shot out of the broadcast like this. And it was like a short 1-minute video on YouTube. That was 5 months ago. okay? And I think somehow the video started going viral. In the last 1 week, I have seen a lot of people who have kind of reacted to the video, acting surprised that Mayegun, on Mayegun's diary political, where we keep record of everything, right? Where I don't make accusations, I report crime that have been verified. So it's like some of these guys, they were like, hey, you this guy, you are supposed to be arrested. How dare you call Tinubu drug dealer? How dare you? Some people were also reacting from Mali. You remember that video where Sonweku, Tinubu, and that guy, I can't remember his name right now, where they were covered, where they were in the shopper. You remember that? And they were in Guinea. And they were exchanging a briefcase. You remember that video? It was around that time. So a part of that broadcast was shared as a short 5 months ago on Mayegun's diary political. So you see those ones who are from Mali, who can speak English. Those ones were typing, you are accusing this, our big man. They said I was accusing their big man of being a drug dealer. Somebody that was actually like on trial for drug dealing in that same Mali. You know the story, Shabi? So these people were like, how dare you? Who is this guy? Who is this? You know that stuff. I was like, they came to the party late. Everybody knows that the president of Nigeria right now, that people now call the impostor, Tinubu, on record, is a former drug dealer. He was a bag man for heroin traffickers in Chicago. Some of his colleagues, they went to jail. Some of them are still in jail. The same colleague of this Tinubu. So when I open my mouth and I say that, right, I am saying this based on the publicly available documents, facts. So if you are coming across my video for the first time, after I have shown all of the evidence, and you are acting funny, well, you are welcome to the party. In this case, the world knows the president of Nigeria as Pablo Escobar, or Pablo ECOWAS. Then having a connection to Guinea Conakry, where they also gave him citizenship, right? And the history of Guinea Conakry, I'm talking about the history of drug trafficking. Guinea Conakry is famously known as the drug hub of West Africa. So when you have your own president in a country that is exposed to have forfeited money when he was in the US as a bagman, accountant for drug traffickers, right? Then he managed to escape to Nigeria, join politics as a cover-up. Then there is a video that popped up of him and the Lagos State governor, Sonweku, and this drug dealer from Mali, and they were in Guinea Conakry. All you have to do is to just, dot the line or put the pieces together, and you can easily make out a very factual conclusion, so to say. However, when all of this popped out, the whole world was kind of wondering, like, oh my God, a drug dealer is the president of the biggest black nation on earth. The country with the largest and the biggest concentration of black people on earth is being led by a former drug dealer, as if that wasn't enough. All of us who knew him as a fake progressive, and what they represent, corruption, violence, sort of I'm twisting, and then what they call underhandling. No, there's a name for it. I'll remember that. All of these are evidence, okay? But the problem started from the Nigerians themselves. If you are an African and you are watching Nigeria, especially in this day and time of social media, where everybody knows what is going on everywhere, okay? And in this case, Nigerians are very famous in Africa and among Africans online. You know what I mean? Like different battle here and there. So it makes a lot of Africans, in fact, all of Africans, to be interested in what is going on in Nigeria. Discovering that one sick old man, the mentored former drug lord, is their president, as if that is not a joke or embarrassing enough. The issue of Chicago State University came to fall. In fact, it's like opening a Pandora box of so many things. You know, Nigerians, they love their oppressors differently. Okay? So like I said, Africans knows what is going on in Nigeria. Very much like even more than those who are in Nigeria, so to say. But Nigerians love their oppressors differently. Okay? That's why you will see all of these criminals. They still have those who are kind of standing up for them, trying to, intimidate, blackmail, or gaslight anybody. And you'll be wondering, are these ones, majority of them are not paid though, but they are kind of hopeful that their effort will be kind of acknowledged at a point, where they will be rewarded. Okay, so Nigerians love their oppressors differently. So the embarrassment of him being a drug lord and the evidence towards that was rejected by the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. The whole of Africa also saw that. I mean, the joke, in fact, hang on, let's take 2 steps back a bit. Tinubu turned Nigerians into big joke the day it was announced as the president-elect. The rest of Africa expected young Nigerians, okay, to take to the streets. In fact, the impression that the young Nigerians, especially the obedient, gave the rest of Africa at the time, it was so massive that they got the attention of not just Africa or Africans, so the rest of the world. So when Tinubu was announced, and the rest of Africa didn't see anything, no reaction, no nothing, they started mocking Nigerians online. It was a big joke. That was the first African and international disgrace upon Nigerians. But they kept monitoring. Then you start hearing some of African countries or some of these Africans from other African countries. They were kind of repeating what they have also got themselves attuned into, like the judiciary, all eyes on judiciary. Some of the Africans were saying that too. Maybe judiciary will save all of you, or else you are done for. You are such a big disappointment. All of you are such a, that is to the Africans. Then when they presented evidence before the judiciary and the judiciary said the evidence were not presented properly, so they won't look at them. And therefore, bam, they thrown out all of the petitions. Right? The joke sort of kind of escalated. Remember, it was about being drug forfeiting money, drug running, bagman, and all that. Then Atiku started his own case. The case to unmask the masquerade, the face behind the masquerade. Now, this particular one, or before this one, Kolu has been to 3 different international, apart from Africa, international engagements. The whole 3, it was ignored. Are you with me? They said Tinubu, Joe Biden, and other world leaders, they were going to meet with Tinubu on the sideline of the United Nations General Assembly in New York. But when Kolu got there, the rest of all these world leaders, they sidelined him. They ignored him. It was a shame. Seriously. But you know, you cannot really shame the shameless. The shame of Nigeria, which has become kind of almost permanent now, started from this Bukwari as well. When it got to this Kolu's time, it was so quick. At least the rest of the world were kind of hopeful on the emergence of Bukwari as your president, until they discovered that he was complete pangolo, empty barrel, an incompetent, corrupt rogue. And they just left you to your own wahala. Okay? But when it came to this kind of Tinubu, Abba, the disgrace started immediately. Nobody want to see him. Nobody want to stand next to him. A lot of the people are, because the world knows. But in Nigeria, Tinubu and his progressives, supposed progressives, they are doing everything to ensure that what the rest of the world knows must be called fake news to the rest of Nigeria. Nigeria will end up being isolated worse than you can ever imagine. It's already happening. Nobody wants to sit together with somebody who was a drug dealer or a certificate forger. Because the discussion that they should be having in Nigeria right now is that how could they let somebody who forged his own certificate to run for office still be parading himself as your president? But if I am, what I'm saying right now, there is a section of Nigerians that believe that I am just talking nonsense. And why is that? Because the likes of Tinubu and those who knows what this means if Tinubu finally crashed or collapsed, majority of them who build their lifestyle, their political survival, or their life survivor around this scheme, because it's a big scam. Okay? If Tinubu should crash, thousands of them will be destroyed immediately. So they decided that as long as they can control the avenue of information dissemination, then they can manage the problem. Usually you can call it a damage control. Instead of people to react to the crime that this guy has committed, they are developing their own theory. And they want their own theory to be what everyone will be repeating in Nigeria. Do you want me to tell you their theory? Their theory is that Chicago State University confirmed that there was a Bola A. Tinubu that attended their school. And that Bola A. Tinubu is the same Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the one in Nigeria. And because Chicago State University, like other universities in America, they don't value the diploma certificate. So when Tinubu requested for another one, Chicago State University told him to go and design it himself. That it is in Nigeria, you are the one who values certificates, who always want to place so much value on it. But in America, it is nothing. Go and design it yourself. And they said that is what enemies of Nigeria Because you know one thing APC introduced to Nigeria when they came in 8 years ago. Usually it was okay to criticize government. You know that? Yeah, it was okay before these criminals came. I mean, everybody could criticize anyone. And if any politicians feels like what you said about them is going to hurt them, they can set the police or DSS to arrest you and they will charge you for defamation, you know, that kind of a thing. But you'll still be able to say your mind. You know? Like you could speak out your mind and just say anything you want. But when these criminals came, it became something that if you criticize them, you are called enemy of Nigeria. This is the theory. Okay? If you don't like what Tinubu or what Bokwari did, if you don't like how APC is governing Nigeria, if you don't like Tifnumbu, you are his enemy. And being Tifnumbu's enemy, you are enemy of Nigeria. Listen to this. If they told you that you would get student loan, okay, and then they increased your school fees, but you have no idea where you will get the student loan, and then you come out in anger as a student, and you start expressing your anger. This government is a government of devil. This government is so heartless. This Tinubu, you Tinubu, now God go punish Tinubu because now Tinubu brought this upon us. Now the moment you start saying that in APC constitution, you have declared yourself as enemy of Tinubu and enemy of Nigeria. Right by saying that alone, complaining about your education and saying all of that, you are either going to get shot or you're going to get jailed. In APC theory, if Fulani terrorists invade your village and they kill innocent people, and in that rage and anger, you turn on the camera and you face the camera and you said, see what this government is doing. They cannot keep us safe. They cannot protect us. They cannot, all of that. God, we pray unto you to destroy this government and destroy these people who have destroyed our villages and all of that. In that rage as a citizen in what do you call it? In laws, you have automatically declared yourself as enemy of the country. That is the theory of APC. And in that regard, they will charge you for treason, an attempt to overthrow the government. It is so easy. That is it. Okay? That is what Nigeria has become under these criminals. If you show them the evidence of their crimes, they will charge you for stealing the evidence to show them because they did not authorize the evidence. They did not give you the evidence to prosecute them. It is called technicalities in Nigeria courts when these criminals came on. And since then, if you criticize APC government, you are calling yourself enemy of Nigeria, okay? Not a critic of a failing, destructive group of criminals. APC. So now that we all have to share the pain of coming from Nigeria, and of Tinubu being their president, an impostor, a certificate forger, leading the country of 200 million people, and they dare not do him. So the media in Nigeria, for those who are ready to play balls, they have no problem. See no evil, say no evil. They are not interested in any sort of real investigation to educate or alert the citizens. They can't share truthful information. They can't debate critically. They can't probe. Anything they want to do, they just have to make sure that they are not probing into Tinubu and his criminal government. Exactly what Bukwari did when they were either arresting journalists, jailing journalists, or fining media houses in order to cover up all of what is going on in Nigeria. To be a journalist in Nigeria is one of the 5 ways. You know, there is this theory. They said there are 5 ways. The 5 ways to die. You know, the 5 fastest ways to die. You see, in this order, one of them is that to be a journalist in Nigeria. I'm talking about journalists that report things and they share their own critical opinion without having to worry about their job or the government security agent kidnapping them in the middle of the night. So to be a real journalist is one of the fastest 5 ways to die in this world. Nigeria journalists. So majority of them have turned to reporters instead of being journalists. Journalists ask questions, probing questions, because before journalists ask you questions, that journalist must have had a lot on that subject that they just want you to shed more light. And that is what is called journalism. That in Nigeria, all you have is columnists and reporters. We are now reporting live from Port Harcourt. And then they will be seeing smoke, burning building behind. They say everything seems very calm here. Everything is in order. People are going about their normal businesses. Everything is fine. The report of all of the death, no, there is no injury, there's nothing. They say, but your camera, they show burning building. People, they run, helter-skelter. And you are reporting, yeah, this is a Femi reporting live for April Fool television. Reporting. You shouldn't discuss about the president of Nigeria submitting a forged certificate because there's no court that has said that already in Nigeria. Really? That you shouldn't report what you have heard? Discuss them? They say no, until a court in Nigeria says, Tinubu, for forfeiting money for drug trafficking in America, Tinubu therefore committed a crime. Until the court says that in Nigeria, he's not committed any crime. Until a court in Nigeria says the forged certificate that Tinubu submitted to INEC is forged. There is no court in Nigeria that said the certificate is forged. So if you go anywhere and you start saying Tinubu forged this certificate, you are committing treason. You want to cause problem in Nigeria. You want to cause serious, and because of that, you will be arrested. That is the warning that the Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation sent to the Nigerian media houses. And the last warning to the presenters inside the Arise television, in particular, Rufai, Hosseini. You know, Nigeria is a place whereby you'll be happy to be a criminal. Seriously, it's kind of paid to be a criminal in Nigeria. It's just that a lot of you don't know where to channel your talent. Only few who have discovered it are those who are using the politics to swindle you. Because if you are a criminal in Nigeria, where criminals are the ones running the institutions and governments, likely going to be very all right. Being caught, just make sure that you are not killed. That is the rule. If you are not killed, don't worry. Even if you are paraded in front of TV, eventually, you will be fine. Just belong to the right criminal caucus, the political one. And that's why majority of them, that's what they do now. Journalists cannot discuss the deposition that confirmed that Tinubu forged his certificate. Evidence is everywhere. Media houses all over the world, even in America, Washington Post, New York Times, Chicago Herald, Chicago Post, and so many like that. Different blogs, different podcasts. In America today, they are discussing Nigeria president that was a drug dealer and a certificate forger. And the country is just pretending like, so why? Because the last risk they want to take is to let this information flow really to the people who actually should hear them. Those who promoted Muslim tickets. I told you they deceived you. If you are a Muslim and you are fighting that time, watch your mouth. Watch what you say about Islam. I said, please, I'm talking about criminals who are using your religion. And if you are stupid enough to believe that they are Muslims, then I probably would not be able to help your stupidity. So I'm just going to say what I have to say. And I'll just let you get mad and run mad if you have to run mad. These guys don't believe in any religion. For them that they pretended that they are Muslims does not make them Muslim. And I've said that many times. Their actions and everything about them are so much like people who have, I don't want to say people who don't have any faith or any belief, because I don't, and I'm not that criminal. Like, I don't know how you see it too. Muslims who have a chance of running a country. You have been to Muslim countries. Have you not been to Muslim countries? Is Nigeria anywhere similar to all the Muslim countries you have been to? You have been to Christian countries that are run by Christians, Abi. Here, Nigeria is close to anywhere that you can say Christians are in government in Nigeria. But whenever it is time for them to deceive you with your religion, Assalamu alaikum, assalamu alaikum. Espiritu Estinus. In the name of the Father, of the Son, of the Holy Spirit. In the mouth of politicians in Nigeria. I said they were deceiving you. Somebody who is a real Muslim will not support public treasury looters. A real Muslim will not support somebody who is a drug dealer. A real Christian or a real Muslim will never support those who are falsifying their documents. Nobody will actually support any. If those of you who pretended to be Christians and Muslims, they actually fell for all of their lies. If you are genuinely Christians and Muslims, you will never touch these criminals. But a lot of you believe that you are fighting for jihad or you are fighting for Allah. And you defender of Allah, Attorney General of Heaven and Hell, Chief Justice of Hell, Chief Justice of Heaven. People where they write the list of those where they go heaven, where they go hell. But they are living in hell themselves. Remember that. So all of you, where they say you be righteous Muslims, how do you feel now? Because we know that there are clerics and all of them are telling you right now, trying to poison your mind and continue to delude your mind, make you believe that it is not really a big thing. It is a real big thing. I'm coming back to that too. Somebody still managed to explain it on the Nigerian TV a while back. Okay? But I'm going to share you the first one from that same United States, from the US.
conspirators in this whole thing. That would not shock me at all. We cannot prove that yet, but that would not surprise me. And I say that because you have to understand the history of Chicago State. You have to realize that Chicago State has had a former president that was federally convicted of crimes. They had a financial aid director that was federally convicted of crimes, and these people went to prison. This is not a surprise to me that they're in the middle of this mess. Not at all, Precious.
Oh, wow. All right. Interesting. So when it comes to the administration of the school proper, how what kind of due diligence would you say the school actually does, in background checks of the academic records that are submitted by students prior to admission into the school or for admission into the school?
So I would say that in terms of what we're talking about in terms of with the Nigerian president, we also have to put it in the context of that this happened back in the 1970s.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So absolutely, now today the technology has definitely changed.
Yes.
Back in the 70s, there's no telling what they were doing. I doubt they verified probably anything back in the 70s. So that is why I'm saying I could definitely understand how this situation got to where it is today, because we're talking about an institution back in the 70s that was doing things that were probably crazy back then. It's just the fact that the things that came out in the deposition and just some of the contradictory statements that we heard from the deposition, that's par for the course at Chicago State. I've covered this university for over 20 years, and they talk out of both sides of their mouth all the time. It is very difficult to get information out of this university.
Oh, wow. So you're saying that university management hasn't been quite honest with students and straightforward in the dealings? Is that what you're saying?
Never have been. Never have been.
Oh, wow.
No. And I'm not just saying that. You can ask any Chicago State alum, and they'll tell you the exact same thing. So, one of the things I find is funny, Precious, is that people in Nigeria have been asking me, well, how do you feel about all this bad press that's now coming down on the university you attended? And I was like, I'm absolutely happy. Because it's now shining a spotlight on Chicago State on an international level, which means now they got to get their acts together or they're going to be heads rolling. And I would not be surprised if the governor of Illinois, as this thing keeps going on, the governor, J.B. Pritzker, if he absolutely steps in and we start seeing board of trustee members resigning or being removed, I wouldn't be surprised if we see the president eventually taking the downfall for this. There's a lot more to this story. And what I'll say is that it's because of the culture of Chicago State and the culture of dysfunction and the history of corruption that they've had within their administration. None of this is shocking to me. It's shocking to you. It's shocking to people in Nigeria. This is not shocking to journalists in the city of Chicago, because we have covered this university for decades. So none of this surprises me.
Oh, my goodness. All right. So you've said quite a lot, and I'm trying to take most of the things that you've said in. So that it's interesting to know that, there's been that suspicion about the school and, some sort of dealings that aren't straightforward. But what have, our students been doing in trying to hold the university responsible to uphold at least truth?
That's an excellent question. I'm glad you asked that. Thank you for asking that, Precious.
Thank you.
Chicago State University, when I was a student there in the late 90s, we had a student population, I'd say probably 8,000. Students. The current student population in Chicago State is maybe 1,000, maybe. And this is because of what has been happening over all these years. Their enrollment has just plummeted. It's gotten to the point where a few years ago, they were actually considering closing the university. The university is also financially strapped. And so when you have an institution like that is financially strapped because it's being underfunded by the government, being underfunded by the state of Illinois, it makes them susceptible to many of the things that have been happening in the last few years. And so I'll just tell you, as of recently, 3 weeks ago, Precious, before this whole thing with the Nigerian president started hitting the news, there was a story run in the Chicago Sun-Times, which is a major newspaper here in Chicago, and it questioned why the president of this university, President Scott, received a $50,000 bonus that was given to her by the Board of Trustees when the enrollment numbers are dropping, the test scores are dropping, the graduation rates are dropping, and she's been getting a bonus every year since she's been there. She's been there at least 6 or 7 years. So, again, there is so much about this. The professors at Chicago State University were on strike like 6 months ago. Back in the spring, they were on strike. Conspiracy.
It's a long story, isn't it? Yes, that's Jay Coyden. I think you remember that guy who wrote, that blogger who wrote his own report when he saw the certificate that President of Nigeria, Tinubu, presented to INEC, and he said he just started laughing. That it was so easy for anyone who has been, who probably has been to Chicago State, right? That is so easy, that this is so laughable, right? That was the guy there on that clip, okay? Now, back in Nigeria, this conversation is not allowed. The government has now written media houses, and it's like the Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation, the National Broadcasting Corporation. They are now the lawyers to the President of Nigeria by threatening media houses. I'll come back and read that, okay? But here, remember when Barrister Dele Farotimi was on Arise News 2 days ago, and he called Kolu a criminal, career criminal. That prompted that NBC warning. It's the last warning. They will arrest journalists inside the Arise News one day. When the news is live, they will arrest them, shut it down. Bokwari tried that by trying to make laws that will allow him to shut media houses down or arrest anybody at random and all of that. But Kolu is going to bring that back. But before they do that, this one is not Arise. Somebody decided to make Nigerians understand the real problem, the real issue. Forget about all distractions about any other thing. This is the real issue. Would the Supreme Court of Nigeria allow this to stay? Listen to this.
Called Bola A. Tinubu was admitted in Chicago State University in 1977. Now, with respect to whether or not Chicago State University issued a diploma to such a student in 1977, the registrar said no.
That's what he said?
Yes, that's exactly what he said. Because when Atiku's lawyers drew his attention that, have you ever seen a copy of this certificate that Tinubu presented to INEC in Nigeria as a qualifying certificate to contest election, his answer was, I have only seen this certificate in the course of the proceedings in Nigeria. It is not on our records in Chicago State University. And we cannot certify that we issued this certificate. And that is true. Because if you look at the documents released to Atiku, particularly document 0026, it speaks volumes as to whether or not that said Bola A. Tinubu actually graduated from Chicago State University. And why do I say so? Because the document says the student failed English and is required to go back and sit for English 222. And there is no further record to show that Bola A. Tinubu went back to sit for that particular course which was a requirement, a condition precedent for admission into Chicago State University. Mind you, the Bola A. Tinubu, who in one instance is female, in another instance is male, what was presented as the qualifying certificate for admission into Chicago State University was a GCE certificate purportedly obtained from Government College in 1970. And Government College Lagos, which is supposed to be the issuer of that same certificate, was not in existence up until 1974. And if you look at the subjects that are contained on the GCE certificate, it was physics, chemistry, and biology. There was no mathematics and there was no English. And the requirements for you to graduate from Chicago State University is that you must have a credit in English and in mathematics. So if you look at the deposition documents, particularly document 0017, document 0026, document 0027, document 0028, document 0029, and document 0032. They speak volume about the said Bola A. Tinubu, who was supposed to have been a student of Chicago State University, but who never qualified to be issued a certificate because he never graduated from the university. It is possible for a student to go to a school because education is a process. Now, you get admitted, you undertake lectures, you write exams, you do for higher education, you do something like maybe a long essay or a project or a thesis or a dissertation. Upon the completion of all of this, if you have passed every subject, then you're issued with a certificate evidencing the fact that you were a graduate of this university.
Do they issue certificates? Or because what I learned is that the certificate is always issued once. And no, whatever you ask for,
upon graduation,
but
you
when
are issued with a certificate. Now, in 1979, no certificate was issued
at
to
that
any
time.
Bola A. Tinubu.
No certificate.
That's what the registrar says. That's what they said. No certificate was issued. And
but
if you
the
look at the type of certificate...
Sorry, please, let me ask this. The registrar admitted that Bola Tinubu attended the school.
Attendance is one thing. Graduating from the school and earning the certificate is another different thing altogether. Education through the university or through that is a process. It's not an event. You can be admitted to ABU Zaria today for a 4-year program course. You can do up to the 3rd year. You can do even up to the 4th year. Now, if you have carryovers, you are required to go back and remedy those carryovers. Now, in this case, it was not even carryover per se within the university. There were deficiencies in the entry qualification which were detected by the Chicago State University, which the student Bola A. Tinubu, whoever he was or she was directed to go back. If you look at that deposition document 0026, if you want, I can read exactly what document 0026 said. And I'll put it to say, you have not passed the English qualifying exam, and the credits that you have previously earned in composition will not be recorded on your transcript until you have passed the examination. You should enroll in English 222. A passing score on English qualifying examination has been required prior to admission into any major or professional program for students admitted into the university as of September 1975. That particular precondition, precedent, was not fulfilled by that candidate. So no certificate was issued. And that's exactly what the registrar said. So any correlation, any interpretation that is different from what is on the records of the proceedings in the Chicago court is not what is available on record that to be used as evidence in court. So that's the correct interpretation. That certificate wasn't issued. And if you look at, there are several other errors on the certificate, which I need not point out. These things have been in the public domain. But this particular one, it's important that this point is made. Because it is not even the attendance of the university that Atiku is before the presidential election petition, or was before the presidential election petition tribunal, or is appealing to the Supreme Court. Atiku is appealing to the Supreme Court on the basis of the provisions of Section 137, subsection 1J, and Section 134, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act. The earlier reference refers to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which says that no candidate shall be qualified to contest for election as a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria if such a candidate has presented a forged certificate to the Independent National Electoral Commission. So it is not a question of attendance. Granted, Bola Tinubu attended Chicago State University. The question is the certificate that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria today, as it is, presented to INEC to contest for the 2023 general election, was it a valid certificate issued by the Chicago State University? The registrar has said no. We are not aware.
So where are the information that we are getting that the registrar gave it a pass that what Bola Ahmed Tinubu submitted to INEC is actually coming from their school?
Ijoma, the depositions in court in Chicago are available everywhere. These documents have been certified. They have been published. And so any other interpretation that is skewed to make a misrepresentation to the public, it's simply because the public itself is not paying attention and reading exactly what the documents are. I refer you to this day this morning. This day this morning's headline was bold that Chicago State University Registrar denies knowledge of the certificate Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, presented to INEC. So there is no confusion at all. In law, we say res ipsa loquitur. The facts are on the face of the document, and the facts speaks for themselves.
Okay, let's go back to that section 137 that
Yes.
you said. They are qualifications for you to run as a president.
When people are so explicit like that, concise, I don't like ruining it for you, okay? By adding mine. It's like all is said. Abibeko, you understand better now the reason why they don't want Nigerians to be discussing something like that on TV. They don't want them to be bringing guests to be discussing that kind of conversation on their radio. They don't want that. And that is why today the NBC issued this warning, and they call it final warning. So 1 second though. Right. So NBC in their own warning letter, after the social media bandits, Facebook adsmen, those on-boot slaves, sophisticated morons, àwọn online bambi ala begasi, when those ones couldn't counter the available evidence, when they couldn't gaslight anybody to shut up, when they couldn't deflect much, they started screaming and crying, and they were asking Tinubu and those appointed by Tinubu to do something. Do something now. All these media houses that are complete, that they are telling people all this truth, you need to stop them before they destroy Tinubu's government. So 24 hours after that, NBC sent this out. I'll see if I can read them. Sorry, guys, I have to read it, okay? They said the preponderance of derogatory and incendiary remark. Derogatory is to call somebody who is a criminal. Abi? So NBC now wrote to the DG of, what do you call it? Arise Global Media Limited. The National Broadcasting Commission has observed with concern the preponderance of incendiary remarks allowed on Arise News. This letter once again seeks to underscore the tremendous responsibility put on the broadcaster
to manage array of guests that may feature on the station from time to time. The benefit of doubt on October 5th, 2023, during the program, The Morning Show, anchored by Ruben Agbati, or Akpati, Rufai Oseni, and Ayo Mairo Ese, featured Oladotun Azan and Dele Farotimi as guests. The program contained unguided incendiary remarks by Dele Farotimi against the legislature, executive, judiciary, and Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Dele Farotimi, while responding to Dr. Agbati's question, remarked that the person who owed the highest office of the land is a career criminal. Showa Paroni. Chironi Dele Pani. Nalai. On October 6, 2023, during the program Newsday, feature Kenneth Okonkwo, spokesperson for Labour Party, who used derogatory remarks against President Tinubu thus. First of all, I must have to say that it is a very sad day for Nigerians and a sad thing that the person that is sitting as their president is a certified forger that has made the university abroad to refer to forging as a Nigerian thing. Your attention is drawn to the following section of the Nigerian Broadcasting Code for compliance. Broadcaster, blah, 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 nonsense, nonsense, nonsense. And all jargons to the dustbin. Omo, I say they pain them. You know, one thing is that they are also cowards too. They are so scared of their own shadow. And that is why now that the instrument of government is in their hand, they will be the one to determine what is a crime, what is crime, and what is not a crime. But they can continue to try the Nigerian media and continue to gag everyone like that. But I have a news for all of us, so everybody shall get ready. Are you with me? They are going to write long lists of all of us who are troublemakers, since we are not going to shut up. Okay? The worse they become, the more we talk. So they're going to have to write a long list of a lot of us they will call troublemaker in the coming days, weeks, and months, and years. Una better get ready. If they see you anywhere in Nigeria, you they go Kujenio. If you mistakenly, maybe you may not know your name is on there. So what you get there eventually is going to be you under the radar of Tinubu, because the whole world knows who is the president of Nigeria. Nigerians are always going to come under that strong scrutiny. Maybe very soon they're going to tell us, maybe we'll come out our pants, maybe we'll open our floor. Yeah, open them. Come on, open. Say, but is your machine not strong enough? Say, are you teaching us our job? Say, but why are you doing this to me? Why are you? I'm not a prisoner. Say, well, you are a Nigerian. Read it on the wall. Nigerians this way. We'll soon be reading that at airports now. You get to the airport and you say, immigration. They will just say, okay, everything good, pass. You see everybody, all the passengers moving on this way. They say, Nigerians, this way. And once you enter there, you just enter one room like that. They will say, well, please follow the protocol. Protocol, Nikpi, you go open your mouth. They will do everything. They go punch your belly, they give you drink, may you drink. They will call say, may you bend down. Ruku. One call ruku. So ruku. You are ruku, right? I want to go open. You go open your yansh like that for them. They get there and check and see, make sure say you are not hiding something. We'll get to that stage. You think say it's a joke, Abi? It's not a joke. It's going to be part of the embarrassment that are still going to come on all of us for having that Kolu there. But for now, Kolu himself is also going to fight back and go push back, try and see everybody, jail those they will jail. And ironically, those people where they fight Abacha, They themselves are now going to send a lot of Nigerians into exile now because they will start hunting people down because that's the only way. They are paranoid. They are scared. You know what I mean? So eventually they're going to have to be the Bokwari Pro Max. You know, really any good sign. However, just before I take calls again, I'm supposed to have been I should be taking calls and having that chat so that you can share yours too, Abi. But this one, I want to share the SOS from these different communities in Imo State. They are going to have their election next month. Hopeless uzordinma is running to be governor again. I remember it was just last week, he was promising the young people that he was going to send 4,000 of them to Europe. They'll give them visa, they'll give them work. But it's not just going to be that easy. Hopeless uzordinma has been bombing his own people, using the Nigerian army, burning their properties, killing innocent people, harmless civilians. Young people have been either killed or jailed in the name of IPOB. All they had to do is to say, we are looking for IPOB, and they just, and they were not looking for any IPOB. This is hopeless uzordinma said terror on the people of Imo States. Now, here is one SOS from the communities that came under attack from the Nigerian military from 2 days ago.
Good morning, Ohaneze Ndibo. Good morning, Nigeria. I am Most Reverend Bieron Williminus Amara, the Methodist Archbishop of Okigwe Archdiocese. Okigwe Archdiocese is made up of Okigwe Diocese, Uturu Diocese, Ihube Diocese, Nnochi Diocese, and the Sukwato Diocese. These dioceses constitute Okigwe Archdiocese, and all the environs were extended from Imo to Abia. Now, these archdioceses have been under the mayhem of bandits in the recent past. The kidnappers have had their sway, bandits have had their sway. Now, militarization of the environment is what we are seeing. Now, I want to sincerely request that our people should be saved. Ihube community is totally deserted. That place has become a ghost town, and Imo State government knows about it. Our community has been deserted for long now. Bomber jets have gone into this community and bombed that place 2 times. Helicopters are doing much harm than good in all these areas. I mean, the military moved from house to house, burning down houses. I condemn in strong terms the death of any military man in the hands of the bad boys in the society. But the military has a strategy which they use in fishing out bad boys in the society. Does it call to burn down every house in the environment before you can fish out bad boys in the society? Our people are in abject, terrible situation right now. I don't know how we are going to describe it. More refugees are coming out, more than what happened in the war. The military of Nigeria should take it cautiously. They should not be burning down houses like Boko Harams have been burning down houses in the north. I don't know whatever is happening. Is it a way of paying back the Igbos for what we have not done? This time around, you hear them speak Asa water, Asa water, Asa water, in cars, Asa water, in houses, Asa water, in shops, Asa water, thinking that we don't understand that language, Hausa. Put fire, put fire, put fire, put fire, everywhere, put fire, everywhere, put fire. When you have put fire on all the whole places, people you're supposed to guide and protect, what then is your work? Are you Boko Haram? What are you? We don't know exactly what you are doing for us in this place. The other day, Umulolo community was almost sacked. Everything in a community called Umukele, all 19 houses were burned. 2 aged women were pushed out of their houses and their houses were set ablaze. Where will they go? we have gotten more refugees in our hands than we can cope with. Please, Governor Hope Uzordinma of Imo State, come and see, come on the spot visit of all these places and know what to do. I know that Imo State is made up of 3 senatorial zones. 3 senatorial zones. And now the south is gone, Okigwe senatorial zone is gone, and it remaining only Owerri senatorial zone. Are you governing only Owerri senatorial zone? Please, we need intervention immediately. We need intervention immediately. We need intervention immediately. Our people are dying of hunger. Our people are dying of cold. No houses to stay in. People are running out of their ancestral homes. All their farms are being looted. Are we in a war zone? If we are in a war zone, please tell us that we are in a war zone. Ohaneze Ndibo, I don't know why you are painting what is evil. You are not trying to paint these things. I don't know whether you are political, whether you are people who are helping your community. I don't know. People should rise up and do what they're supposed to do. Should rise up. This terrible situation are becoming unbecoming unto our people. Oh, people are dying. Oh, situations have come from bad to worst in these areas. Our community, we don't have, almost life has been lost. That is, we don't have people living in that place again. Ibe community, we don't even have people living there again. Now, Umulala, why must you take over Imo State? Decimating them. Why can't
Onye du aịkọ, o meriwo n'izu, onye ya Abakare, mama dawora, una pori meri nandi win the war. Python that's 1, Python that's 2, now Python that's 3. Una pori meri nandi win the war. Python that's 1, Python that's 2. Na Python that's the 3. Una pori meri nande bu onye du aịkọ, o meriwo n'izu mbiro ya Abakare, mama ndawora, una pori meri nande win the war. Python that's 1, Python that's 2. Now Python that's the 3. Una pori meri nande win the war. Python that's 1, Python that's 2.
Thank you. I mean, I just needed something to kind of, bring me back from that emotional roller coaster, because I said that as that man was talking, I was in serious kind of emotional, sort of a battle, like imagining and just imagining, because I've seen videos, many videos I can't really share here with you. Okay. So I'm going to start taking calls now so that we can probably just make it an open mic, but my eyes caught something. Akuna police abi kiloruko. My starting music is too long and it is becoming boring. Abogunfeba mi pa edanu ni. Shofesari shori buruku ni before 12 a.m. la rola. Abulori buruku lele ni. Your Mayegun's diary political olorimi wa boring. My opening music is boring. Abijok wonofeba mi fo oju edanu ni. Listen. When you are watching Mayegun's diary political, chongbo. And then you complain about my opening music. Do you understand? That one is not like you are actually advising me, or I'm trying to give you an advice. If you are not comfortable with my opening music, How about you probably join me in the middle? Maybe you join me like after 30 minutes or after 1 hour. Chauffeur chauffeur ni akuna police ori burúkú sin ekiri ni. Orin tèmi wà boring. My starting music. So your advice is in Abi. If you go church or you go to any you go gathering where you won't go listen to lecture, they're not going to do some what is it they call it? Sound testing. Over show phone. They know they do sound test. I don't love that. Hello, t sound test, music test. You they hear me? You they walk? Hello? Yeah. If you go church, they know they sing opening hymn. I am fun lekpe so about me white whether you probably want I've told you people, I mean I've actually said that before. For those who know my ego very well. Me o vibe gbadun ko ye. Now because some of my viewers told me that children also sit to watch my ego. That is why I started trying to sound like a gentleman. Akuna police oma shofoni. Only tell me what boring. So if I open the what do you call it? I open the temple of truth. I can't say start with the opening hymn. Anyway, the reason why I answered you, Akuna Police, is because there are people like you. If you are new on Mayegun's Diary Political, okay? The reason why Mayegun's Diary Political can be very long. I have seen some people who have also said, Mayegun, your videos are too long. She won't force you any. She won't force you. Did they force you? If you want to watch skits, go onto Instagram at Bibulatimanche skits here. You can see all those who are making skits. You understand? So there was your videos are too long. I say, okay. So that one is also boring. When you tell me that my music is boring, music where they take past message. You think say the music is just music. You know they listen to them. Mayegun don't come oh yo Mayegun don't. It's like somebody say Mayegun don't come, you don't come oh. You can't tell me say my music is boring. I'll be shocked when I for you. We need your advice. I don't need advice. So number one, for those of you who probably just joined Mayegun's Diary Political, it's also nice to let you know this. Okay, I no get friend per se. If you like Mayegun, you have to like me unconditionally. Choma. Well, they know they attach condition to liking me or following me or anything. No, you don't attach condition. Okay? Because that's the best way to actually really enjoy Mayegun, right? If not, I feel make you happy in the morning because of what I am saying. Before evening, like, you know what I mean? Make your life so miserable that you kind of, because of what I'm going to say next. So it is always ideal when you join Mayegun's Diary Political to just come here and listen, something like listening to your conscience, your conscience just telling you, and someone is just trying to let you understand how much this whole thing can affect you and what you need to do. Okay? So when you come to Mayegun's Diary Political, you don't tell me what to say. If you are the type that are politically correct, there are people who kind of, listen to me, there are people who have told me that I could still present my messages, I could still say what I'm saying without being vulgar, without being abusive, If you see some of these Olori Brukus in that comment section, right? If you are with your spanner, if any of you who have your spanner, sharp. Okay? All you have to do, you know what to do. Get them off there. Okay? Because sometimes if you fight pigs, the sad thing is that it's going to drag you into the mud. And then by the time the two of you become so dirty in that mud, they're not going to know which one is pig and which one is not pig. This is Mayegun's Diary Political, the Temple of Truth, okay? Once you see any of those and you want done sharp, or I'll do that myself very soon before I start taking calls. So what happened is that you don't kind of there's no chance of giving what do you call it when you see those who like to be politically correct. Okay, so people have told me, oh, you can still deliver, you can still say your message without kind of being and I was like, of course, yes, my dear, I can still deliver the message without having to, but I actually want to upset you, Oluri Brukus, that still love your oppressors, okay? Or you can pretend, you can hide, you can do all of that and pretend that you are not. So how do you think I always discover the pretenders? Those ones that you say, man, Nigeria government is so terrible. They say, Amayegun, I like your program. I like the fact that you are saying the truth. But when you're saying that and you don't mention their criminal leaders, you are fine, you are all right. They are pretending. Some will be like, it's true. Yeah, it's true. What you're saying is true. How do I get to see you get angry? That kind of thing that you just be like, Amayegun, I have been watching you for a long time. I actually thought that you are going to change. I actually thought that, Lucy, finally, you have to come out and talk. So that is why I have to use all that kind of a trick. It's mostly, it's like fingering your brain. I could say yes, sir, to the people you say yes, sir, to. But how do I get you so angry and pissed off that saying yes, sir, to criminals makes you a stupid person? But you are not going to admit that you are such a foolish person, listening to criminals and repeating what they say to you. You're not going to agree. If I'm being diplomatic and I'm saying it, you say, okay, yeah, but I disagreed. Who are you disagreeing with? So the moment I actually, knock you like that, and you are so angry. Have you seen people that are so angry with me that they have to sit down there for 3 hours watching me lambast them? They can't go anywhere. Okay, tomorrow they will be back. Day after tomorrow they will be back. They can't, because I have a way of putting my entire 10 fingers in the heads of some of these Lagos Abobakus, all these Oshogbu Alimajiris, and some of their uncles and aunties abroad. The Abroadian Abobakus. So I have a way with words and all of that. I have a way of putting this entire hand like that into their hand, and I'll be like that, fingering it. Because as long as those who are in charge of Nigeria continue in this path of destruction, of these impoverishments, and because of the crumbs that some of you will eat, and that is why I would never want to be politically correct. So you can call me, see, people have told me that I don't have any respect. Some have told me that I lack home training. Some said that, a lot of things. But for those who said I lack home training, I said, if me lack home training, and I know they hurt you, I know hurt anybody, I know whatever I do is not hurting anybody, right? If me no get home training, tell me, who be the parent of all these criminals who are destroying Nigeria and looting Nigeria? Did their own parents train them to be thieves? Did their own parents told them to be sadists? So it means no get home training. But these ones where they destroy Nigeria get home training. Anyway, the Baba Miri police akpan. Last man I'm already very low screen. I don't want to see him there anymore. Somebody will screen, yes, if I see him again, I'm going to come out the spanner myself and anybody like him. We don't want them here. This is a premium platform where sensible people spend their time. Once you see this as shears, pretenders, political beggars, and unity beggars and all that, right? And last spanner, I won't miss them. Seriously. Now, it is now the open, what do you call it? It is now the open mic. You can now call me. Police Akman, the number is on your screen too. You realize that, hello there.
All hell Biafra, all hell Oduduwa.
Brother, all hail Biafra, all hail Odudu. How are you doing tonight?
I'm great, man. How are you?
Well, I am very well, Baba. You know, because now that we know that we will probably end up in jail for criticizing Tinubu, why don't we just do it and end up in jail? Instead of me to just keep quiet and then, you know, still end up in jail. So I would rather just do it. Getting ready.
Exactly. We're not cowards here. We will fight. We're men with dignity. You know?
That's right.
Not like the rest of them that will cower out, like, you know, a bunch of cowards anyway. But
tell them, bro.
Yeah, great show. These people, they don't know what they've gotten themselves into. This generation that they're dealing with is a whole new monster. You know, they're trying their best. They don't understand that the harder you try to muscle this thing and cover it up, the bigger it's going to get. And more people are jumping on board because people have had enough. People have had enough, you know? And I can't deal with it anymore. You know, I'm from Imo, you know, and
did you see
I know people that
turning the Imo to battleground, and you know, people being inaugurating refugee camps, people are being chased out of their homes by the Nigerian army.
Yeah, you have to understand some of those lands, they actually found natural resources there. So they're doing anything to now an excuse to push people out so they could now occupy it for Fulanis or whatever this could come in. You know, but one thing that they forgot is that it's no longer games anymore, and boys are ready. These boys they want to call terrorists or whatever, they're nowhere from terrorists. These are people, they're heroes. They're actually protecting their land, you know? And along with everything else, before you know it, everywhere else all over that contraption, people are going to pick up arms because they can't kill us and get away with it all the time and it's okay. But when they get killed, people are now crying, oh my God, those soldiers, you know, want to have pity for them. But they did not think twice when they were killing, you know, indiscriminately, you know? So when they get theirs, now everybody wants to, oh no, this is wrong. These people are wrong. And that priest that was there, I don't feel sorry for him because he's also a part of the problem. That priest have played a part where they all see what's wrong and they look the other way. They're the same priests or pastors that will allow these criminals into the church. They will accept their money when they make donations, you know, and they look the other way. Rather than say the truth, speak the truth like you do, they won't. They'll use abracadabra, Bible, and everything else to you know, keep muzzling and trying to tame the youths. Well, those days are long gone. Those days are long gone, and we're no longer taking it. My God, I can't sleep at night sometimes thinking about what's happening to my people in Biafra land. You know, I can't. And there's more I want to say, but I can't say. I have to tell you in public, in private.
It's right, man.
You know?
It's okay. Thank you so much for sharing that at least, okay? And then let's take it easy, man, right? So here is another caller on the line. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
How you doing, Baba?
How you doing, is that Ahmed Abi? Bless you. Sonu da aiki abi yaya. Ya lafiya la. Madala. Yawa. How are you, Baba? Ahmed. Here we go. All these things, just like the time of Bokwari when they were threatening all of us, then that what we are saying, we see us either killed or jailed. But Bokwari couldn't. It seems that Tinubu is continuing from where, yeah.
Who did die now? Maybe them still did die. Maybe them they cry. Now then they die, now then they cry. Now then they find urgent 2K, now then they find urgent 1,000. That's still there. We know them, sabi them. And before I even go forward, you know, say Kusibi, báwo làwọn Yorùbá ṣe ti ń sọ ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn. Sí, kéèyàn máa kó wèrè mọ́ àwọn èèyàn, àbí?
Òsígbà tí ọlọ́mọ ẹ̀ka kẹran mérò.
Ẹ̀ka kẹran mérò àti àdìtọ́. The will come when you say talk. I just see that as I see that typing, I don't say my good of give out.
I'm like, don't they tell me how this is like a segment, right? Even if you are new, like what the hell are you to come around and say I've spent a long time singing? Somebody shieni, like, oh, you know. Baba.
My goal sometimes, if you don't like it, just leave. Go wait sometimes.
Come back later. I even the advice people who don't like them. I said, if you want to watch my replay, and you don't like all the music, forward down. Go listen to the proper.
Forward down.
If they call the time say my music is boring, if you are sitting there watching,
now they need people.
Go on, Baba.
Now they need people. And no be saying that the new people. Don't be saying that the new people, now those hypocrites. I love you, my I love.
I don't want all this. You know what I mean? Like people where they like me, they give me condition. You go take me like that.
We know like my just discussing and my program
those ones. I mean, those ones say will come later say, you know what, my I love your program, right? But if you can just reduce the way you, a lot of people would love to listen to your program. What show wine me? It's about a one-on-one. Advice. Ahmed.
I need the advice here.
There you go. Well, I don't impress anybody. I don't want to sound like it's so diplomatic. It's such a very like my very sure that's you know.
Straight up. See, no holding back.
Well,
my money. Oh, you just didn't know.
You just didn't.
That's there. You just didn't know.
Amen. They don't know.
They don't know. They can never know. You see, they can never know. So, you see, people will not understand this. The last video that you played about the military stuff, going to Imo State, burning houses and stuff. For years,
cry am since too. I don't cry, but it's because I don't feel sure the video on this platform.
It's the same
Some
thing.
of them are so horrible. This is show them.
This is the same thing Mazin Nnamdi Kanu said. You know, Mazin Nnamdi Kanu has talked about this thing. The military will come in form of military, but behind the military, na terrorists, na them full inside. And we have seen places whereby Buhari has recruited repentant terrorists. Repentant terrorists. Now them.
Did you hear that man saying that they were shouting also burn it down, set fire on it.
Asauta, burn it down.
Burn it down.
Make I give you one
share with us,
references. Yeah. You see, my gun for here, the military here in the United States as a soldier, even though now war, you go, we be say war, like when they go Afghanistan, all those places like that.
Yeah.
You cannot only face enemy. Now enemy, you know, see this person na enemy. If na raid, we be say you kill. If you come closer to that enemy, if you no shoot them from far, if you come closer, waka go back. Come back. You understand? Come waka go back, as in you don't kill him, you can't feel say like say it be like say you never die finish. You can't waka, you don't waka past, you can't come back. You can't light him again, that kind of thing. If one of your battle body were there around there, if they don't like waiting you do, they feel report you, and if you don't take time now, war crime be that. According to the Geneva Convention. You cannot do that. Holy shit, shooting or padawa. That's why when you bound, you kill. When you kill the enemy, as they go closer, they go close to them, they carry their weapon, put for one side. You know, feel waka go, come back, say, and then to light
again, like
if you do them again, and one is
you can be charged for more than a war crime now.
No,
is a soldier in the US Army, the person that is talking here. So in case if you are listening,
Baba, you are going to jail. You are going to jail. Could see anybody told you a fiti and when you tell you what near or for that battlefield, no talk. But if they say something, yes. But if they raise concern, Baba, you are gone. Even if
that's enemy or in your own country, go. When you are there as US Army inside America,
Baba, I dey try tell you, you know if you do them.
When they set people's houses on fire because some people will be say that they shoot guns, and the soldiers came to stop them. They don't feel burn the properties and burn everybody inside the place in the US.
Now, my make I ask you one simple question. Oh, yeah. You say, especially when you say you don't get experience about that field. Make I ask you one question. For example, now. You know, say this person, an enemy, you know as they look, you know how they dress, they come. They can't come well on a patrol base day. If you see them carry gun. They no point to the gun, no boy, they come on a base, just walk up, come on a base. Waiting will come your mind at that moment. As in, waiting will come your mind. And waiting you go feel one do. Before they attack, you go say make you attack, Abi. For example, you see enemy come, you do your own part, you do your own base. They can't come as those terrorists. They come in bulk now, but they no aim to shoot you. They just come. Maybe they just a spy. You as normal person, we just do your waiting. You go on, waiting go do your mind. Waiting go do your mind.
I don't be normal person again. Now you say I dey patrol. Ahmed.
Yeah, you
wait. Now I don't be normal person. No. That time I dey patrol. Enemy dress they come because no point gone. Waiting I go do care. I go they do like the thing where they say side film, Baba. Hey, put your hands where I can see them. Put your hands where I can see them. And I will quickly spot and say, if you move again, one step, put your face down and all of that. You know, that kind of thing, Abi. I don't shoot.
You see that one. You know, to even threaten them like that. Highest you go
so
say, put your hands. No. Put your hands where I can see them. Until that person behave aggressively. Now him, you definitely one person go there will be say they point the gun. If they go around with them, you know if you do anything, you know if you kill, you know if you do anything.
Under the military, so you have to be so disciplined that way. Are you telling me that?
You have to be so disciplined.
Even if you know, say this one's an enemy, but they never point to.
You know, say they never point. You know if you do anything, you must. The highest you can do is detain them. Until person behave aggressively, where you say, almost this one, if you not do say, then you can now take him down because it is a self-defense at that point. You have to do something about it. You have to do something.
Hey.
Because if you don't do anything, you are gone. But just like that, you know, say this one's not terrorist. Now this one kill your battle body. One certain time where they come, you know, say not them. You cannot.
So I know if it's way keep my
bro. You know fix.
I know say now be that to Abbas be that Abbas, and I go just go fire Abbas war front.
Listen now. Even though you see, let's say for example now you know drug dealer, and you know say this one babanla drug dealer, own smuggle drug, he bon woman trade the bon. Make it no day for that kind mode say that they do transaction. Make just the workers go make you know say you sabiam. You know if you arrest him, you know if you do him anything because he no day that mode at that time. So these are the things that are missing. Let me make I not say Nigeria alone. Not be only Nigeria, for Africa completely.
Africa.
We no get regard for human life. Some people will say even in America, no person know they enter place go shoot people anyhow. But ask me, that person will enter place go shoot if they no take them down. If they catch them, oh Lord, you don't go with that. Oh Lord, yeah. So there are laws guiding all those kind of misconduct. There are laws. Not because you see this person as a threat, then you feel like, oh, you can just kill him.
Where somebody go kill a whole village in the north, and they'll say he's the leader of the bandit in that axis. He go to negotiate with government.
That is it. But you see, for Nigeria now, they justify all those kind of things. They say, now soldier work with that, now their work to do this, to do that, things like that. Because a lot of them are not exposed. They don't know what it entails to be in
because it's
such
so natural.
kind of organization.
In Nigeria, if they kill soldier in any town, everybody will start moving out because they know that it's natural. Soldiers are coming back and they will kill everybody they can kill. Like it's all like normal in Nigeria. Why is that?
It's normal. It's normal because now the way we didn't build the military, just kill anything, and now that system.
So to tell everybody that don't ever kill a soldier, never in your life should you kill a soldier.
Exactly. Exactly. And now waiting make we say you see today. You don't they turn, not be only inside military, you don't they turn the civilians. All these things you see they go kill somebody anyhow and nobody, nothing go happen. Now normal thing. It's a normal thing for them around there. And I look at it like they are not exposed. The people over there are not, they don't know. And not be say they no one know. A lot of them, they teach them, but what or because they are opportunity to be abroad or something, and that's how the things are supposed to go. That is not how they are supposed to go. There must be sanity when you're doing things. No matter what kind of a job you're doing, you must be like sanity must be inside. If not, all this problem, go stop. It could just come up every day. Now, like animals, they behave every day. But those who know here, they go here. They go here. I say, better. You watch it, they say, but watch it. They go see shaggy. They go see shaggy.
I know.
Deja vu. You let this caller go. Let this caller go. What is he talking about? I'm talking.
Don't mind them.
And you relax.
Yeah, nice one. So people don't know that when you say open mic is not like you call in and ask questions and leave. You chat and chit chat and all of that stuff. And then another person come on. I know it's annoying when a lot of people want to speak. Hello there.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Mike. Well done.
Good evening to you, sir. Sorry, where are you calling from? Can I ask, or we should just pass that and just go straight to it?
Well, I'm calling from Nigeria. Actually, I've tried to call with my phone directly because of the importance of the message I want to pass.
Oh,
and well, I would like to remain anonymous.
Okay, then let's flow with it, sir.
I'm sure you know he's speaking. Yeah. So there is this friend of mine. Let me call him a friend, though not really a friend.
Okay.
And he's one of those Lagos Abobaku. Yeah, he's an elderly person and he likes me so much. So we usually engage in conversations, even though we have contrary ideology and all of that. And he was very aware that I supported the Labour Party in the last election.
Okay.
But when the cash crunch thing was very hot then,
right?
He told me they will assassinate Emefiele. I thought it was a joke.
Your old friend told you personally that because of the cash crunch, which everybody suffered towards the end of last year, so he personally made a threat about Emefiele. Okay, now I'm interested.
He told me from inside of their circles, that's in the party.
Right.
Back then they were from two sides. The Ashiwaju side and the exactly. So the Ashiwaju side were planning to actually assassinate Emefiele at the time. That was why when he came to the airport from wherever I traveled to then, he had a lot of security welcomed him and all of that.
That's right.
So the same person has actually told me a lot of things. So I saw him 3 days ago and we got talking. Like the usual way I raise my voice, I do my analysis and everything. He cracked a joke, which I didn't believe was a joke. He said I should not worry that based on this certificate thing and all, they'll start picking us up. He knows I'm always very vocal when it comes to arguments against APC, and he knows I hate Asiwaju. I hate him, and I'm not afraid to say that. So why I'm now calling is he made mention of certain things which I think you need to know as well. I'm not saying you should not do what you're doing. Of course, you're doing well, and we enjoy whatever you're doing. And as a matter of fact, I'm always up in the night to listen to you, even though I have hectic schedule here in Nigeria. But you have actually been listed as one of the people they will arrest. And then was there.
Sir.
And the funny thing when I heard that was, I don't even know this guy knows who is Mayegun Diary. That was where I got scared. Like, you know, the position thing came out and we had to argue on it. And I was telling him, why are you people still supporting this man despite knowing how dirty everything has become? For posterity's sake and for the sake of your children, you should even think of, okay, what does tomorrow hold for us if we continue this way? And he told me categorically, I should continue. We should continue. That even me, at some point, I won't be able to speak this way I'm speaking, because by the time they are ready, they will pick us up. They will trace us to our house from social media and all of those things. But when he now mentioned your name, he mentioned David Unde. He said even the Dele Farotimi that runs his mouth, he would also get his share. You know, I started feeling, what's this guy saying? I mean, how does he even know Mayegun Diary? So that was where I was like, okay.
See, Baba, before you continue, let me quickly add this, okay? I have been there, all right? One of the greatest wish that most of these ombud slaves always wish for is that the people they don't like, or the people they considered as a critic of APC, they would like the government to arrest them and put them away. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
They always wish.
Yes.
But the other thing there is that, you know, sometimes I do tell them that what would arresting people and putting them away change? And what has that changed in their lives? Even though putting people away is not that easy as they wish, but even if they are now put anybody away, how does that change anything in their life? How does that bring back, you know, electricity or security or improve the economy and all of that? Then I now had this conclusion.
What I believe.
Go on, sorry.
Okay.
Go on.
What I believe is not about keeping them away. They are just all about the power. In as much as we have the power, and it's not out of our reach, you can do anything, and that's what they are interested in. And as a matter of fact, I started with the Emefiele story. How he told me he was going to be assassinated, because when he said it, I took it with a pinch of salt.
Like just.
But now, yes, but seeing everything that is happening to that man since this guy took over power, I now realize, yes, there was actually a plan to assassinate him. So
now, you know what my conclusion is. Let me tell you what my conclusion is, okay? You see, yes. Number one, nobody can arrest me. I want you to be rest assured, because number one, I'm not coming to a lawless place, Nigeria. I'm not going to come to Nigeria. Forget it, right? The reason is because I am more useful, right, being here for everyone than to be in a hellhole of these criminals, okay? That is one. Nobody's going to arrest me. It's never going to happen. Then the second thing is this. Majority of those who wished that I should have been killed, arrested, deported, jailed. You know what happened, Baba? I mean, before the end of 8 years of Buhari, so many of them became my friend. Are you there?
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
yes,
I'm
here.
The only thing that can shut somebody like me up or be locked up is if in 6 months, Nigeria have 24 hours electricity. Even you, where they hear me, could begin to feel like, Mayegun, at least give them credit now. We know what it was before now. Sure, you know.
But why these things you say are obvious things.
You know what I mean? Like if they are doing them, you people will begin to see that. Like I say, this Mayegun a bad belly. 8 years of APC.
Exactly.
We now have 24 hours electricity. Now, our politicians don't go abroad for medical care anymore. I can walk to anywhere and get medical care. We're waiting this my ego they talk. Now we have people who are now really engaged. Our naira to dollar is now just about 18 naira to $1. This my ego is enemy of. If they call me enemy of Nigeria at that time, you will agree. I believe. Do you understand that now? Yes, well, you know something? In 8 years, in 8 years, those who expected Buhari to at least do wonder, by the time Buhari destroyed everything, they later discovered that, they later realized that, Mayegun was right. It was hard though. Some of them have called in onto this program to say, I used to be a Buhari then. I used to wish that you are arrested. There was a time I wish that something happened to you. They've come here to confess. So your friend will one day talk to you and say, man, Olong, I am so sorry. Even the people he wished that they should have been arrested and the rest of them, he himself will later join. And he will join the queue. Now all of us, they go see arrest, including that your friend. Because this guy will disappoint him too. They will disappoint everybody. So last, you go see say your friend don't be like, and now you go call your content and say, Baba, that my friend that is saying that we are going to be arrested, he don't join the queue. Go and write it down. I've seen it happen. Well, I have been here for a while.
Well, I would actually love to see that happen, but I believe a lot of them are deeply in that shit that it's they are sad, just unrepentant for whatever reason.
It is so sad.
So I just want you to please be on guard. I beg. And lastly, let me just say my respect to Dr. Akinyemi Agbede. He's been giving really, really crucial informations, and I want to say they are really on point. The informations has been, because of my closeness with these people. I know. Thanks exactly. So a great respect to him. Thank you for what you're doing.
Stay safe, man. Okay, and take it easy. All right. Nice one, Baba. So there, we just add it. Okay, don't worry about me. Nobody go arrest me. You see the place I live, I don't become what you go call them. I have become a very deep-rooted tree, and as long as I'm not involved in any illegality, sure you understand me now. As long as I am not involved in any sort of criminality, she make I tell you one secret, I'll tell you one secret. There is nothing we are fit to in this country. Now for this country, they go jail me. You understand that? And it will never be because one criminal in Nigeria or any rogue in government in Nigeria is upset because of what I do. No. I would have committed a big crime that will see me go to jail. So if you are a Lagos Sabo Baku, in that your shanty where you depress your phone, now you be next. They will soon arrest you. We are going to ask Interpol to deport you. Olori Buruku Niyi. Sometimes I need to remind you, okay? You might be living in the hellhole, Nigeria. Your brain, your what do you call your body may be black. Your brain shouldn't be. So you don't need to project your fear on everyone, okay? Majority of us that actually talk about Nigeria, we are not directly affected by all of the rot happening in Nigeria. We just hope that there will be a country where the people living there are treated like normal human beings and not like animals. So you can hang inside your dark room there, they tell me, say, they go arrest me. There no bomb call you well. No be drug dealer go arrest my ego. Now real government go arrest my ego if I commit crime, not a drug dealer. Nah, not a certificate forger. Yeah, sorry there, I kept you waiting. Hello there.
Hello, Mayegun. How are you?
Dr. Agbede.
How are you?
Agbede, I am very well, sir. How are you?
I'm doing super great.
Yes, somebody just mentioned your name now.
And also,
yes,
happy Saturday to you and to the member of the Temple of Truth.
Same to you, sir. Same to you, sir. Same to you. Thank you.
So, yesterday, on the 6th day of October 2023, officially around 10:30 a.m. local time, officially FBI have been notified officially yesterday.
Okay.
Yesterday. So the FBI, they have to establish three major things.
Right.
Number one, the issue of a clerical error. This male and female, FBI, that's their job. They are all professional. They have to establish that clerical error. Yeah, male so that's their job. So yes, correct. Yes, have to establish that error, clerical error. Because so that's number one. Number two, the FBI, they have to establish this third party issue, whether CSU gave authorization to any third party to issue certificates. The FBI, that's their job. They have to do the needful there. Yeah, now, clarify. Third, yes, correct. Now, third, social security number, because two people cannot be using one social security number.
No.
So FBI has to establish the social security number of the third person that truly went to Chicago State University. FBI has to establish that. Yes, that's not my job. That is their own job. That's their own job, and they are professional. Yes, and thank God, FBI they can't take a bribe. No, they can't take it. So that's one kind of it. Now, in addition to that, these four people will face a U.S. Congress. That will appear. Now, number one, the registrar Caleb Westberg.
Yes.
They have to appear before the U.S. Congress. This thing is beyond the Nigerian Supreme Court. No. Number two, the president of Chicago, Zediwaka of this court. She has to also appear before the U.S. Congress. Now, the board, yes, the board chair, John C. Roback, also has to appear before the U.S. Congress. Finally, the provost, Dr. Leslie Rantry, she also has to appear before the U.S. Congress. And I trust the U.S. Congress because they have to tell the U.S. Congress what really happened. What really happened in their school. And I trust the U.S. Congress here in America. They will grill them. So this thing is beyond practically this Supreme Court of Nigeria. No, as I said before, about 2 weeks ago,
U.S. Congress.
Yes,
but is that as I said 2 weeks ago, or you are already on it, or I don't? I missed that.
Don't worry. Everything classified. Everything classified. I said everything classified.
Okay.
Yes. I'm not telling you that this thing officially was. So this thing we go even up to the level of U.S. Supreme Court also. But meanwhile, these are yes,
sir.
So
because you know what I heard too, right? They said the Southwest College that later changed to Richard Dele College in that same Chicago. They said they have more questions to answer even than CSU, because that issue of whether it's female or male started from the Southwest College. Are we not going to drag them into it too like this, or we're going to work on it?
I said we thank God that FBI here in America, they are all professional.
Right.
You can't entice them with money. But I'm telling you, yesterday at 10:30 a.m. local time, FBI officially, they are not notified and they are making steps. So 3 major things I highlighted. That's what they will start with. But and also the 4 people I just named, they have to appear before the U.S. Congress to tell what really happened. Maybe eventually.
What really happened? Like it has to be a different one. Like seriously.
Seriously. So this thing is beyond the Supreme Court of Nigeria. No,
you know why I believe that it is beyond Nigeria now too. You know how I believe that, sir, right? I have seen the way Washington Post, New York Times, and some of this your American media, the way they put the headline, and then the way they actually put the body of the news. It was more or less like the U.S. government should not look away from what is going on in Nigeria. With all the news coming from Nigeria, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know the way they do their thing in America. I shall link it to asking the U.S. government not to pretend that this is not happening. I saw that.
So, and everything have been copied to the White House, and to the VP, everything have been copied. Everything have been copied. These are the details. Yesterday, officially, I repeat, around 10:30 a.m. local time, FBI and now officially we start their investigation, thorough investigation, thorough investigation. Correct. And I can use the medium that Emmanuel Efeni, please let me get the call of Arise News. Should contact me. Rufai Oseni of Arise News should contact me, and also my best friend. This is a first class lawyer, Professor Fidelis Odita, my good friend. Greatest Akokites, Fido. Great. Professor Fidelis Odita, former Queen's Counsel. He knows himself. So to contact me, yes. And also Mr.
Anytime.
Urgent. And
so
also Mr. Femi Falana too should contact me. Once again, Professor Fidelis Odita, Fido, that's the alias Fido. And also, yes.
Great.
Yes, great. And also Mr. Femi Falana too should contact me. Right. And also Mr. Emmanuel Efeli of Arise News, and also Rufai Oseni of Arise News. So officially, FBI is on it. Officially. Thank you.
For those that received the cryptic message of Dr. Agbede, please reach out to Doctor as advised. Please, if you are still watching us, you should take a moment and then drop your own offering. Okay, you still need to like this broadcast if you haven't already, right? Share it too. I have another caller on the line here. Hello there.
Hello.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Good, how are you? My name is.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Your name is?
No, take it. I'm calling from North America.
Okay, I'll just say take it, Abi. Take it. Did you say take it back?
No, I say I'm calling from North America.
I heard that, but I said your name is. Sorry.
I will tell you later.
Okay, you don't want to. Okay, now I get it now. Okay, sir, please.
Mayegu, Western, you are doing well. Okay.
Thank you.
So, and a lot of things to be talked about, but I won't have the whole time, and I know.
I mean, I can give you the time as much as time allows, you know. I mean, let's start from somewhere. Sometimes you won't even know that you've gone far, right? By the time you start. So let's start somewhere for whatever time allows.
Very great, very gracious of you. Now,
yes, sir.
You know, those who are talking like you, I've told some friends that argue with me. You know, those who say, come home and do it. And I told them that, look, these guys in diaspora are doing more than those of you at home, telling them to come home. And today, you have said something that supported what I said, that you are more useful where you are to Nigerians than this thing that telling you come home. But let's leave that alone. At this time around, why the talking is going on, why the Dogon French is going on, why the long grammar is going on, I want to believe that we've gotten to a time when we should be taking action.
That's right.
And if we are not taking that action, we should be doing things that will lead to that action. One, you know, these guys, you call them criminal elements, and they are, you are right. You know, they have a way of fouling the air.
They do.
Committing these atrocities they commit every second. and then turn around to gaslight anybody that will say, oh, why are you doing this? And how do they gaslight us? They will say, don't take laws into your hands.
Yeah.
This is the time.
Follow the right channel.
Yes, this is the time we should start with harsher tone to them.
The more they dislike it, the more we give it to them. Don't tone down your voice for them. Don't listen to their guy. Say it exactly how you feel, especially when they complain.
Yes, I'm coming.
Yes,
so
sir.
you know this guy, this useless guy in Port Harcourt, they call Asari Doku, but there's something he said sometimes. He said, I'm not saying I'm supporting him or he's on his own. But there's something he said I want to use to support what I'm saying. He said, if they talk to you about this, there's a video he did. He said, if they talk to you about this guy, talk to them, ask them about Hadiza. Okay? So when they tell you, just because you are innocent and patriotically asking, why are you doing this evil? And they say you are taking the laws into your hand, tell them that they have killed the law. They have poo-pooed on the law.
Yes, they have.
They have urinated on the law. They have thrown the law into the gutter. So who is milder to the law? Me that I'm taking it in my hand to pamper it, and you that you have done all these things to the law. Let us start from there. And then they will now tell you, Supreme Court, this is the time we will start talking to those justices, whoever they will be. I don't know whether they've gotten them.
In the language they understand. Go on, sir.
They call the court, they normally say the court below.
Yeah.
This is the time we will start telling them that we have kind of overlooked what those their brothers below did. Okay? Those judges, those their brothers below.
Yes.
Because they say that court is the court below, right?
And now?
We have to start telling them those things that their brothers below did, we appear to have overlooked it. If they don't do the right thing, yes, if themselves don't do the right thing, we are going to deal with them. And they say, you are threatening. We will tell them, yes, we are threatening you, and it's deliberate. It is deliberate. We have gotten to that time. If action is not taken, believe me, Mayegu, there's no other way you can solve this problem.
I do
so
know.
Let me leave that one there. The second one,
yes, sir.
the second one before I go is,
it's okay.
I use occasionally, once in a long while, I used to write articles that are published in the Nigerian newspapers, right?
Right.
There's one I've gotten the caption, but I've not scribbled much. And it's about this Tinubu. I like the name you give to that guy, Tinubu.
Yes.
I captioned it from cradle to Aso Rock. One story of one man's fraud, deceit, and evil manipulation and maneuver in the Nigerian space. This man, and why I say cradle, is because, we used to say 44 years ago. Nobody knows when he started this thing because you don't even know when he was born.
No.
You don't know. So from cradle to Aso Rock, he has been doing all these things and getting away with it. The question I want to ask, the final question I will ask, but I will tell you a story.
Right.
I'm an Igbo man. In Igbo, Igbos love aphorisms, proverbs, white sayings,
Every now and then I do. Go on, sir.
Those sayings are usually laconic. They say a little bit, it means volume. Okay? There's something Igbos call anunuebe.
Anunuebe.
I will explain it.
Yes, sir.
And Tinubu has become something of anunuebe. Anunuebe is an aphorismic reference to evil, bad person. Okay? Actually, that anunuebe is a mysterious tree. It's a mysterious tree. It's a tree, but it doesn't exist. But birds perch on that tree. It doesn't exist. So, and any bird that perches on it disappears. That tree doesn't exist. So, Tinubu has become something like that. Now, the question is, who do we really blame? Is it Tinubu? Is it the system? Is it Nigerian? So is it Nigeria? Is it Nigerian? Is it Tinubu? For many years, from Credo to Asoro, that guy has maneuvered his way and gotten there. Why am I asking this question? Just for you to see that unless action is taken, it's not much something Supreme Court will do. That's why I like that Dr. Abade, he's saying something, and I listen to him. We really have to do something. Something has to be done.
Sir, before I also forgot myself, right? As you are talking, you see, there was this thought that was running through my head last night, and it was so strong that I still remembered it this morning, and it's been running through my mind. See, even right now when you are talking about what should people do and all of that, I kind of discovered that we in the diaspora, we are actually the biggest foreign investor to Nigeria. Like, we are the people who send the most investment back into that country through our remittances. We hold so much power that we don't even know. So when somebody said we should start a diaspora or a global organization that can liaise with ourselves all over the world, mobilize ourselves, and even back home, fund proper, homegrown, a movement. And I was like, if the diasporans actually really cares, the journey to either the breakup or the restructuring or the referendum, whatever is going to be decided on Nigeria, the diasporans, we actually have that power. But how do we coordinate it? I'm going to say I'm still working on that. One day I'm going to say it. And hopefully it's going to meet the, the expectation of a lot of people that they will just key into it. Diasporans will have to be those that will lead Nigerians out of this contraption, sir.
Maegu, you are saying something, but let me tell you, before you invest anything in those at home have to first of all understand. They have to, because let me tell you, when they say you diasporans, you should come home, if not for what the diasporians are doing, these guys at home, these criminals at home won't be bothered. They are shaking a little because of what we are doing in diaspora. Those at home are not there doing anything. So before you give money to them or for you to do something.
One thing, sir, just quickly, sir. You know where we seems not so possibly, or we seems to be jumping it to, right? Is the fact that there are still many of us who believe that those back home are not doing anything. Do you understand that? And it is not true. I want us to at least, even if we didn't see them do anything before now, right? We saw what happened that shook the entire system, especially disobedient and these young people and old people too. So when I spoke about building on such momentum, investing in such a movement and everything that comes around it, like for example, diasporans are providing assurance for medical support, legal support, financial support, possible insurance, and so many other things for every Nigerian that pick up the gauntlet and stand up against these criminals. Something like that. Because we have them already. They nearly dethroned these people. And I don't think it's
I agree with you.
Go on.
No, let me talk. So if I land, you will get what I'm. You get my brief. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that before we put more. What I'm saying is that, like no matter what
doing anything, me, I'm just calling your attention to maybe not enough.
No.
Go on.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that in diaspora, it's just a few that are the Abado minds we are talking about. Many of us in diaspora agree that action ought to have been taken now. Okay.
Yeah.
Not that those back home don't know, but before you invest money, make sure you have got, just like what you are doing, Maegu, you are getting the minds together. It has to start from the head. Maegu, let me tell you one thing, even if that's the last one, if I have the time.
No, let me tell you. I'm enjoying this. A lot of people are interested. They are listening to you.
Maegu, these criminals at home, these are our criminal elements, Tinubu and gangsters and all of them. They are also cowards. So
they are.
Remember, Let me give one practical example. Recent. Remember, there's something in that electoral law or even the constitution that say when INEC declares somebody a winner, the same INEC cannot reverse it.
Yes.
It's only the law courts. But Mayegu, in Adamawa, there's a story I want to tell you with this. In Adamawa, INEC reversed itself. Do you know why?
Immediately.
These criminal elements, before they strike, they normally test the water. When the water is calm, they strike immediately. But if there is turbulence, if there are turbulent sides, they will pause, they withdraw. That is what happened in Adamawa. Remember that while that guy was announcing that result, he has not finished. So the woman they declared was simultaneously reading her acceptance speech.
That's right.
But Adamawa people show their red eyes that this can't take place. That's why the INEC violated the constitution and reversed themselves.
You are right.
I'm telling you that if Professor Mahmudu, let me call him the way you normally call him, Professor Mahmudu. If Professor Mahmudu that declare result at 4 a.m., odd hour when Nigerians hardly do anything from 4 a.m. If Nigerians woke up 5 a.m. and said this thing can't happen,
it won't stand.
Believe me, they would have reversed it. So that's what I'm trying to say. If those at home, before you invest money on something, I'm an accountant. Yes. Before you invest money on something, make sure that money you get value. You get value for your money, right? So when we get all these minds together, before you invest money, these guys are also cowards. Look at just if Dele Farotimi talks, they will start sweating. You know, so they are also cowards. But because they see they have cowed us down so much, so they do anything they like. Let me give you another example. I wish I have the whole time. Do you know that if not because of neglecting Nigerians, this is Tinubu. If not that they have taken this sense of entitlement that they can do anything in Nigeria, nothing will happen.
Impunity that they can get away with anything.
Do you know that Tinubu, even if he said between 1999 and 2007, he wanted to give all he had to the administration of Lagos. Between 2007 and now, Tinubu, if he's not neglecting Nigeria and Nigerians, Tinubu could have comfortably in Nigeria obtained legitimately an executive MBA. Do you know that?
Of course.
Between 2007 and now, so that we wouldn't have been talking about this thing, he could have decided. Nobody will ask him for elementary certificate. Nobody will ask him for secondary certificate before admitting him. Just wait for me. Before admitting him into an executive MBA, do you know that? Because he has had that experience of being executive director, of being a senator. But because they know that anytime they want to do anything, Nigerians won't do anything. He could have decided to choose that this executive MBA I want to do, all those that will teach me, they will all be professors. And the best of Nigerian professors will be scrambling to teach Tinubu. And he can say, look, I don't want any of you to near my boarding distance. My lecture will be in one of my guest houses. He will get it. And I'm going to France, I'm going to London, I want to pick 2 lecturers in my jet. He would have gotten it. And within 2 years, he will get legitimate executive MBA. Yes. By now, nobody would have been disgracing Nigeria, whether
and start talking about, they just didn't care. Illegality. That's why we call him career criminals.
Yes, they have that. They have that impunity. And I've always said, when people say fighting corruption, I say fighting corruption is a misnomer. You have to deal with impunity.
Yes.
If you deal with impunity, corruption will begin on its own to diminish. These guys have impunity all over their heads, knowing that Nigerians can't do anything. And until we do something, it will continue. Let me stop it here and allow that. But there's one last thing I want to say, and it's about you, Mayegu. One last thing. Mayegu, if you read I don't call often, but if you read my comments, you will see where I say, Mayegu, you're a professor. I'm not praising you because I'm talking to you.
I understand.
Mayegu, you're a professor. Do you know that 25% of the academics in the academia in Nigeria, I mean real professors, real academics in the academia in Nigeria, 25% of them didn't do PhD. They didn't write any PhD thesis. It's because of their presentation, what they're adding to knowledge, the way they analyze things, that they got their professorship. My head of department is that. He later became the dean and later became the vice chancellor. Let me not mention the university. He is a prof.
Wow.
Now, but he didn't do PhD. 25, I've done the research, more than 25% of academics in the academia didn't have their PhD. So, the way you are analyzing things, you've done this thing for about 11 years. I've listened to you for about 18 months. If we pick 35% of your analysis, you will be a professor. Because the way you analyze things, many people, even those who have PhDs, can't analyze it. Is it economics? Is it political? Is it social? You analyze it very well. So I want you to continue.
So much. Thank you
we
very
really
much
have to fight this.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
And you too. Thank you so much for that acknowledgement. I appreciate everybody who observed that. But you know, one thing is that I might not be a professor or work in the academia, but like my caller said, I have gained experience doing this. Okay, it wasn't just so convenient or comfortable, just like this from the beginning. So I will also be very grateful to Sky. For those of you who know Sky, Sky in the UK, you see that company, If you come to the UK, if you are coming to the UK from Nigeria and you are looking for a job, right? At least try and work for Sky. Okay. You know, when I was working for Sky, they spent thousands, tens of thousands of pounds sterling in the space of 3 years, training me on communication, you know, customer service communication, customer service relation, you know, and so many other things that are actually professional courses that have their own certificate, but I'm not a paper certificate person, you know, but I can tell you this for a fact, yeah, it changed my life. Okay. I worked for Sky for 3 years and I could relate with practically everyone. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you see me talking with anger, like I'm talking like I'm angry, I may not really be angry, because even when I'm angry and I still want to pass a message, right? So it may just be me putting that face up, increasing that voice, so that you will know that, oh, my ego is angry. Oh, my ego is angry. Oh. But you realize that that's why the fact that I'm angry, I will still not have to repeat something twice or thrice, you know? I'm still going to deliver that message. I can remain angry for 10 minutes. And then you will love my angry face. You're like, oh my God, I like his angry face. I was trained to be like that. I was trained to listen. You know, it's just that unfortunately my connection here, the technology, where my studio have calls from everywhere, okay? So technology and the output may be different. That is why sometimes you feel like I'm speaking over my callers. No, that's the connection. I can relate with anyone. I can sit with, I don't care who you are. You may be president, prime minister, governor. I don't care who you are. Executive, chief. No. I will talk to you. I will talk to you. If you will allow me to speak, I will talk to you. And by the time I spend 10 minutes with you, I will leave you, I will leave an impression, because I am trained to be like that. I'm trained to speak to those who don't want Sky anymore. You know that kind of job? People that don't want you anymore. I'm done. I want to cancel my TV, cancel my broadband, cancel my this thing, cancel everything. I'm done. You people are just robbing bastard. You are robbing me and all of that. And you're just there like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I understand how you feel, you know, that kind of thing. You'll be like, no, you don't. I need my money back. You just took 150 pounds from my bank. I'm going to give you your money back, okay? How about that? No, I'm not giving you money back, but you know you're angry. And you want your money back right away. And I have to tell you, I say, okay, you know what? I'm going to give you your money back. How about that? Now, I want it back in my bank account. Well, can we have a conversation first? Let's have a conversation. I don't want to have a conversation. Just cancel everything. Cancel everything. I don't want it anymore. Of course, I'm going to cancel it for you today. In fact, I mean, they've been transferring me here and there and all of that. I'm like, going to be like, I'm not going to transfer you to anywhere anymore. I'm going to be the one to fix the problem for you. Now, this is somebody who is so angry, raging, and all of that. They will not only keep their TV and broadband, they will renew the contracts. They will even buy phone from me, or maybe SIM card. Maybe not them, maybe their kids. You know, maybe you can even get a tablet for that your 3-year-old son. Your 3-year-old son, has he started reading or something? The rhymes and all that. That's where they're angry 10 minutes ago. We go come, they laugh. So I was trained to be like that. So if I want to get people angry, I know what to say. You know what I mean? That's why if you come onto my program, don't advise me in a way to be like, Mayegun, I want to. No. Everything I do, as I've told you, whatever comes out of my mouth, I am responsible for it. If you feel like I say something that is defamatory, like spoiling your name, just sue me. Don't let anybody believe that because I live in the UK, you can't sue me. You can sue me. I am a trained, what do you call it? I am a trained communicator. Okay? I can communicate, I can calm you, I can do all of that very conveniently. So if you now see that I have been so successful on Mayegun's Diary Political, I know I have been very successful because I have built relationship with people I'm so easy to relate with because I am trained to be like that. Sure you get. And maybe because I'm actually like that. Anyway, then I got training. So when people kind of acknowledge that, I say, oh, thank you. Oh, Mayegun, you are so, oh, thank you. Now, only money customer don't they give me when I was working for Sky. You don't see where customer will be say they mad and they say, I mean, can you give me your number? Can you give me, what's your name? I'm going to go look you up on social media. What is your full name? Because they want to see me in person. Like, oh my God, you are a great asset to Sky. When I said I was leaving Sky, they said, okay, you know what? Don't just leave. They said, I should go and think about it. I said, they leave. My YouTube channel can pay me, you know, my content can actually pay me times 3 or times 4 of what Sky. And Sky was paying me good money, very good money, not bad. And I said, I mean, I could just go and do this for life. I could just go and be a communicator for life. And this is me. So if you are going to come for me, you need to know my story. Okay? It is it is what you order that you get. I am as sincere as I can be. And then, you know, and I have great people around me. Lovely people who love Mayegun. You have no idea. People love me. And I just can't be bragging about them all the time. They love me. Hello there.
Any more? Maye.
Kabiesi o. Ibele mo wa yo yaju. How are you, sir?
That person we don't know you now. Mayegun. I've been very busy and have not been able to call you into your program in the last 1 week.
I hope you've been enough. You know, you've never really missed much, by the way, because there will be so much to catch up on if you have.
Mayegun, busy because I couldn't call you.
Right.
Now, there's a way I call you when I want to get through to you. So I watched the program, but I couldn't call.
I'm glad you are able
because
go on.
I was always mobile data. So if I'm on mobile data, I find it a way of getting through to you. So
right.
I'll go straight to the point.
No wahala, Baba. Go on.
I have noticed something about Nigerian politics. I don't refer those politicians to as leaders. And this is what I've noticed. It's an observation, I might be wrong. Why is it so easy that an ex-convict in America, people who are being jailed in America, come to Nigeria and show their money, the money they've made legally, show it in the face of the people without any background check, they start having followers.
Just like that.
Just recently, there was a news that broke out in Nigeria about, you know, there was this socialite, you know, in Nigeria who had this guy got married to, and the marriage crumbled in 2 months. And some information came out about that guy.
Is that not that, sorry to cut you short, right? Is that not that socialite that wanted to commit suicide and, you know, they stopped?
Yes, I don't want to mention names. Exactly.
Okay. You wanted to keep it cryptic. I'm so sorry, I broke the glass.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine as long as we don't mention names.
Yeah, Baba.
You know the guy, that guy is an ex-convict. When he came to Nigeria, do you know that guy contested for an election in Ogun State?
I saw it.
That guy spent all that money he made because obviously the guy had a plea bargain, just like, you know, Tinubu. Yeah, exactly. But of course, you know, when you have this plea bargain, you still have some, you know, money somewhere. So the guy got to Nigeria and the only thing he could do. So now the question is, if that guy had been successful and he got into political office, just like the late Buruju Kashamu, you know, until his death when the America government were looking for him.
He was a senator, Buruju Kashamu. He became a senator. He sat inside the Nigerian Senate chamber. He sat and raised up his hand for bills.
Yeah,
made law for the rest of Nigeria.
I know he was spent, but my greatest concern is this. I, for one, I don't think about people in Nigeria anymore. I'll tell you a very good story, and this is very true. All my friends, all my friends in Nigeria, I don't talk to them anymore for one reason. I'll tell you, my ego. You see, one thing I try to stay away from is people who try to, that's why I'm not active on any social media. People who will never see things the other way, because a lot of them are going, no disrespect. No disrespect. They have never got into an airplane or the airport or, you know, traveled out of the country. So the first thing I noticed is when I started traveling before I even relocated, the way I see things was different from the way they were seeing things. So before I left the country, finally, I knew these people I was going to discard them.
It can never be my circle.
They will not. And
they didn't disappoint you,
No, they did not. They did not, my ego. None of them has access to me. They don't have my phone numbers. My ego, my greatest, the way I think right now, and the only thing I'm thinking about is because I work in the government. You understand right now.
So you are a civil servant, and that comes with a lot of rules and responsibilities, Baba.
Yes, my ego. And I saw everything I went through getting into the government department that I work for, and I knew what I went through. You see, it's not about you just being brilliant.
No.
And I'm saying this because of what Tinubu has done right now. He has taken us back.
Put everybody under the radar.
And that's the reason why I will never forgive some of my friends in Nigeria who support this, you know, just because someone is from your clan or because...
the sad thing is that, you know, they will not be saying you are overreacting.
No,
they will say,
I am not overreacting.
You know what? They will say, I mean, at least, it's just political difference now. You have your choice. I have my choice. But when we are talking about your choices that are actually ruining lives, including theirs, so, you know, that's why I told you, I said, if I see APC, people would support APC and people would support PDP. From my own experience and the PTSD I've suffered in their hands, right? I see people who support them as a potential threat to my life. Now, you may be my friend, you may be watching me now, you know what I mean? So if you see this whole thing as, it's just a political difference now, at least you want, no, it's more than that. You are actually a threat to the life of other people if you are supporting these people, but you may not know. I do tell people that.
Exactly, Bayogo. Beyond politics. Beyond politics now.
Politics.
They don't even know the enormity of what they are doing. Let me tell you what they've done. You see, a lot of them right now, they are sending their own kids to school, and one day, their kids, what we went through. Michael, do you know the reason why what we went through trying to get jobs here because we don't want to do the dirty jobs?
Yeah.
I'll tell you why we went through those things. Is the antecedents of people like Tinubu. I'm
like
speaking in
and what they left, the mark they left in America,
behind.
made these future Americans who are now there today, Nigerians from Nigerians from Nigeria who are now in America. God damn it, that's
Mayegun,
something.
it will get to a point. Mayegun, it will get to a point. You see me,
Hey,
even though I was excelling, the job I finally got, I smashed the interview because you will get the feedback. For 3 months, nobody called me. For 3 months, even though I got a feedback from my interview, nobody called me. You know what will happen to their own children? Because let me just give you the analysis. It will get to a point that they will retire because they will have nothing to fall back on. Because I know. You know, I got to know. It's because my own even retirement benefit after working for 13 years, I never got it. You see, they will now retire. They will now be preaching to their children to jack. When their children jack, their children will be slaves to our own children here because Nigeria will never get better. So their children will reap from what their fathers
did.
Their own children, their own father on in Nigeria. And what will happen then is, you see now, when you have to go through different stages of security checks before you get certain jobs abroad, when a time will come, there will be no security checks. They will just ignore. You understand? They will just say, okay,
we will not even go there to apply because we know you are not wanted.
Yes, at all. So that will be the situation. So let them continue. My last thing I want to say, Mayegun, last thing I want to say is this. Whatever this establishment they try to do, it will not last forever. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Sometime in Buko, I read a book, when I read, because I read books about countries and why countries go into war. Not because I want to start a war in Nigeria one day, but I want to know the mind of how does this thing come about? I read a book some time ago called The Son of Hamas. This book was about, if anybody has read that book, after reading that book, what I did? I discarded that book. I threw it away. I didn't want to keep it.
Why?
Because if you read that book, some of the things inside, if care is not taken, you start meditating on them and you think it's the right. Yes.
Like you get
exactly.
radicalized
That's
and you
the
begin
word.
to imagine things that are completely not you.
Exactly.
And you are worried that you'll be something that you don't want to be.
Yeah, because I know myself. I can seclude myself
just
enough
when that character and that's you. And
straight on.
And you were not
straight
ready
on.
for that then. Right.
Yes. In fact, one of the guy who wrote that book is taking refuge in America today. He's from the Palestine, and to cut the long story short, you see what will happen? What will happen very soon in Nigeria? It might take time, but with the works of people like you, what will happen is this. You see the canker worms that the establishment are creating, are the ones that are going to fight them back.
That's right.
The people who they have empowered illegally, the people who have gone through a lot that they brought onto their own side and they think they are safe. Mayegun, kò ní pẹ́, kò ní jìnnà.
It's a matter of time.
Báwo lọ ṣe máa ń sọ Yorùbá wọn ní gẹ́gẹ́dẹ́ àgbiná àbí báwo? Ó lè má jẹ́ lórí Tinubu. Kò ní ṣe kò ní sọ́nà àbáyọ fún mọ́. So that is my own.
God bless you. Thank you so much for all of that. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry, I think we should call it a night. I know I usually stole your time yesterday, Ade Williams was kind of, I saw you yesterday, sir, where you are mocking the member of the temple that Mayegun has carried them handicap because I finished the program 40 minutes early. But you should know that it was because something popped up, okay? So tonight I decided to make it an open mic and we have done so well, all right? I want to say thank you to every one of us, right? But before I go, let me give you this motivational talk so that I can use that one to spend like 5 minutes with us before I go. See, if you are just joining Mayegun's Diary Political, for some reason you stumbled on this platform and it looks good. It looks like something you like. I look like somebody that speaks your mind and all of that. See, I have been doing this, okay? Or should I introduce myself again? I am Mayegun and the Mayegun General, which is the GO of this Temple of Truth. I have been doing this for more than 11 years, consistently. So what that means is that I saw through the Jonathan's shenanigans, and then I saw through the Buhari's rascality and jihadism, okay? So if you stumbled on my channel a few months ago up till now, let me tell you something. I am not different from anyone. But what I have discovered is that if you really want to express the truth about what is going on in Nigeria, and the purpose of it is to educate others so that if they know what is going on, you can help them to, when they understand something, you can help them to form their own opinions, okay, views on them, and possibly help them take position, okay, on things. And in my own, in my own word, I have discovered that the first thing you have to sort of defeat if you are interested in making a difference, especially when it comes to Nigeria, it is like using a cup, fetch water with a cup and then pour it into the ocean. It will always seems like it is not of any effect, right? But there is effect. Most of the problem that people have, or should I say, yeah, one of the problems that people have, especially Nigerians, is that they don't have time to analyze things. Critical thinking about happenings is not really our forte. People don't like reading too much. And if they do read anything happening, they don't really kind of connected to it. In a way, this has made the people I now call the criminals in Nigeria, controlling or ruling Nigeria. It has made it possible for them to continue to spread fear, the fear of unknown, okay? If they tell you something, just take it at its face value. Don't question it, because if you question it, you're going to discover something. And if you discover something you don't like, you are likely going to probe further and you're going to react, and they don't want you to. So the fear of unknown. A lot of Nigerians are scared of a lot of things. Things they believe will actually hurt them, kill them, destroy them or anything. And the people who control power in Nigeria, as whether they are using religion to control you or they are using government to control you, power is power. Those who have power over you, they have power over you because they have managed to bury you in fear, the fear of unknown. If I said this now, what's going to happen to me? If I rejected that, what's going to happen to me? So that is the first thing I conquered. I understand that sometimes people will say, Mayegun is easier. You are living in the UK, so you are free. They won't touch you. There are people who live abroad, but they still live in that fear. Okay? The fear of, if I speak my mind, it can lead me into trouble. Now, because people don't like trouble, despite the fact that every day of our life is more or less like trouble, we pay attention to things that are mostly irrelevant and we ignore relevant things. Relevant things like politics, politicians, the people that decide whether you and I are going to be happy or we're going to be sad. Criminals who probably don't understand you and they don't want to understand you. They have the rule book. And if you don't obey what they say, they have the way of scaring you to make you scared. And you are worried. So I conquered fear. I conquered fear, and I decided to tell everybody about it. There are still people that will listen to me, and I will say some things on Mayegun's diary political, and they will just be like, Mayegun. Mayegun. Mayegun, is only you that can say that one. No, me, I cannot say that about, I don't want them to, that stuff. People are scared. They are scared of the air they breathe. They are scared of spirit that will make them sleep and not wake up. They are scared of evil people that are going to probably make them unfortunate, lose their money, lose their life, and all of that stuff. They are scared of people in governments that are looting and destroying the country, and they can't talk about them. They are scared about their pastors and their woolies and the rest of them because they don't want them to cost them. They are scared about their affairs and imams and everybody like that because they don't want them to put jihad on. People are scared of almost a lot of things. I kind of, it's okay to be to be scared of something. No, I'm not saying it's bad though. I would like to understand what I'm supposed to be afraid of before I would know if I should be afraid of it or not. I was scared of those in government before, like you. I was once worried and scared of those who claim to have spirit and they have spiritual this or that. They could turn you to anything. They could change your life. They could kill you and the rest. I used to have that same fear. But when I discovered that it is all not exactly how they are presented, I defeated those fear. And today, none of them in any way would sort of, impact in how I express myself when it comes to the truth. Even if it's going to hurt people, it will only, my truth is only going to hurt people who are bad people. Okay? And it's going to hurt you if you are a supporter of bad people. But one thing is this, which I have also discovered, is that we are all going to die. Sure you get. That's the most things that a lot of people actually are afraid of. You're afraid of dying. Abi? You don't have control over it. So don't let anybody control your life based on you're just going to die. I can make you die. No, you're not going to die. Do you get that? And if you're going to die anyway, yeah, fine. Everybody dies. I want to grow old and die. You don't have that choice. Nobody has that. Anything can happen and you can die anytime. But there's something you have to know, which is something I discovered as well. A lot of people will die and they've never lived. They live their life in fear, worry, fear of unknown. And then even when they seems to be all right, comfortable, they still live in fear, the fear of unknown. Oh, is all my money going to be gone? Oh, am I going to, lose that and that? And because of that, a lot of people never really lived. They were just walking about, they never live. So I choose that even if I'm going to die, I am going to first live. I advise you to first live before you die. So whoever is going to scare you of death, tell them it's inevitable, we're all going to die. If you have a chance of saying your truth, if you have a chance of making something right, when things are wrong and you are there to make it right, do it. Don't be so kind of concerned about you, whether you are going to die or you're not going to die. You're going to die anyway. But you need to live first. You don't need to live your life in fear. A lot of us have different things that are scaring us. I used to have this fear of a bad dream. I dream a lot that I found myself in Nigeria. It's either they stole my car in Nigeria. It's either they are actually chasing me in Nigeria. I always have those dreams, but they never worry me because why won't I have those dreams? I talk about Nigeria all the time. I spend 15 hours a day putting together content about Nigeria every day. So why won't I dream of me in Nigeria, people chasing me or people, all of that. So psychologically, I could deal with that. So I don't live my life in fear and worry. I advise you to do the same. If they're going to jail anybody, if you walk towards where they're going to, take you and jail you, just count that as part of your own life journey. You don't need to live your life in fear. You know what I mean? Don't live it in fear, because that's exactly what gives the criminals the power over you. You are worried. You're worried about a lot of things. Just know that whatever will be. Do your own best and make sure you do it right. All right? And live your life so free, so that you can have that free mind of observing and critically looking at things, you know? And then when you want to share your views on them, you have nobody to worry about. You have nobody you are worried, you are scared of. You are not afraid of anybody. Just speak your mind. Even if they say that, now waiting you talk, now why they take come beat you, but you don't talk what you want to talk, Abi. Oh, I don't want them to beat me. That's why I'm not going to talk. Come on. Government of Nigeria and their supporters prefer all of us to live in fear. That is the first thing you have to let go. Whatever will happen, will happen. Okay? The world has been done a great deal that we are here. Okay? But before we leave, we must leave an everlasting difference of mark on this earth. Thank you so much for listening to my TED Talk. And then, yes, to my super chatters, thank you. Nobody, thank you. Friday, the 20th of October is when we are having the memoriam, third anniversary of the third memorial for the NSAS Matthias, those killed by APC, Egbekegbe, 3 years ago. It's going to happen in another 2 weeks. I hope you date that down, okay? Thank you, nobody. And I will see everybody some other time. You should all have a wonderful evening, okay? Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one.
Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one.
Mayegun dayari politico.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
ẹ̀ sọ́ra jù. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Ayé ẹ̀ sọ́ra jù. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Ayé ẹ̀ sọ́ra jù. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Ayé ẹ̀ sọ́ra jù. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ sọ́ra kì. Ayé ẹ̀ sọ́ra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni, mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni, ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni, ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.